What the hell is Saw Sports or whatever that last call was talking about? What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
What's up, Sauce Nation? It is your boy Hector Flores. So baseball is officially back. They'll be coming back on July 23rd or the 24th, depending on what the schedule is. Now, we don't have the schedule, but we do know who the Astros will be playing. And in this video, we're going to talk about my personal top 5 matchups for this 2020 season. And I'll explain a little bit about that. But before we do, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment on this video. You guys want more content on the other teams in H-Town, like the Astros, the Dynamo, the Rockets, or any other team in the Houston area, please subscribe to Saucy Sports TV. Make sure you click on that notification bell so you'll be notified when we drop videos, and as well as when we do our live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays around 6. As well, if you guys want more deeper discussion and interaction with guys from the Roundtable like myself or at Honcho, make sure you guys join the Discord by joining the Patreon for that $5 tier. They'll put you in the Discord and you get in with some really good conversations. I guarantee it. Yeah, it gets a little wild sometimes, but it's honestly it's well worth it for $5 a month. But let's go ahead and explain. So like I said, it's going to be 60 games this season, and they pretty much have to reset the schedule. So the schedule that you guys saw, that's not what's happening. So they're basically setting it up by region of your division. So basically, the Astros will be playing the AL West, obviously, because that's the division they're in, and the NL West. So if you guys aren't familiar with the division that the Astros are currently in and with the teams that are currently in the NL West, I'll go ahead and explain who those teams are. For the AL West, obviously, the Astros are in there, but you also have the Texas Rangers, the Anaheim Angels, the Oakland Athletics, and the Seattle Mariners. On the NL West side, you have the Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Francisco Giants, San Diego Padres, the Colorado Rockies, and of course, everyone's favorite team to hate right now, the LA Dodgers, for being a bunch of whiny babies, as well as the Yankees. But those are the teams. So in this video, basically, I'm just going to tell y'all the 5 series, not just games specifically, the series in general that I'm looking forward to for this 2020 season. So let's get going with that. So starting at number 5, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks, who in 2019 finished with a 85-77 record. Arizona is a good team, but still has so much left to do as far as to work on for this team. But they do made some key additions, and those key additions are Madison Bumgarner, obviously the starting pitcher. I mean, if I have to explain who Mad Bum is, I don't know if you're much of a baseball fan. Cole Calhoun, who I personally believe is one of the most underrated players in baseball right now. I don't know what it is about Cole Calhoun, but he's just a really good player in my opinion. He gets the job done. That's honestly how I feel about Cole Calhoun. And Starling Marte. So they got some good additions. Now, what is my reason as to why the Arizona Diamondbacks? It's pretty simple. This is the return for Zack Greinke. This is going to be obviously this is Greinke's old team, and so not only will we be seeing Zack Greinke go back to go play against his former team, but we're also going to see guys that some of the prospects that we ended up trading for Zack Greinke. Obviously, Josh Rojas is the first one that goes up to my head because he was one of the first players to get called up from that group, and also Corbin Martin as well. But that's mainly the big reason why I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup. And also, Arizona tends to be a really good, pretty decent matchup. So I kind of like seeing Arizona. So I'm looking forward to it with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So at number 4, I have the Anaheim Angels. In 2019, they were 72-90. They made some key additions, mainly more so on the fielding and hitting side, not so much pitching, but they're kind of getting better. Obviously, Ohtani's going to be fully healthy. That's going to be something to bring up. But some of the key additions that they had, obviously, they got Anthony Rendon on third base. That was a big signing this season, as well as others like Garrett Cole and Steven Strasburg. But Anthony Rendon definitely was one of the big highlights for this offseason. They also got Jason Castro, who once played for the Houston Astros. But I think the big addition for the Anaheim Angels is actually their skipper and Joe Maddon, one of the most highly respected baseball managers. Obviously did his thing with the Chicago Cubs, but he's going to Anaheim to, I guess, go back to the Angels. But yeah, I think that this is obviously a great addition. I think he's a solid manager. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what Anaheim does in the future. They're not there yet. I think they still have some issues as far as their pitching goes. They have a stacked batting lineup, but their pitching is just what's going to be rendering them this season. Now, my reason for it, I'm going to just be frank. I don't hate many baseball teams, and I've said that plenty of times. I actually do have some respect for a majority of the baseball teams in the MLB, but I just hate the Angels. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that it irks me that they call themselves Los Angeles Angels. If you guys don't know, I was born in Los Angeles, so I do have California roots. Not very deep California roots, but I was born in California. And it just irks me that a team from Anaheim calls themselves Los Angeles when they're really not. So that's my big issue with the Angels, to be honest. But aside from that, they have a lot of players that I like. I like Ohtani. I like Mike Trout. Andrelton Simmons, I think, is one of the most underrated shortstops in baseball. Someone that deserves to get talked more. I think he's one of the best. I think he is the best shortstop in baseball currently. But the other main reason is because I'm a big Anthony Rendon fan. I've been a huge fan of his, going back to his time at Rice, and even some in high school, because he actually did go to high school with my brother. But that's really the big thing. Anthony Rendon is a solid player. Everybody knew what he was going to do, and obviously now he got his big payday, so it's going to be easier now for me to watch Anthony Rendon, obviously, because now we're in the same he's in the same division with the Astros. I wish he would have been for the Astros, but that's fine. He's in the same division with the Astros. That means I get to watch a little bit more of Anthony Rendon. And also, because I had to go out of my way to watch him when he played for the Nationals. I had to just find ways to watch him play. But now it's a little bit easier. So it's definitely going to be because I want to watch Anthony Rendon play. But I think Anaheim will be a very interesting team to watch, at least near the future. Alright, so another team that I think is going to be very interesting in the near future, it is the San Diego Padres, who in 2019 finished with a 70-92 record. I don't know what it is, man. I have a real soft spot for the Padres. I really like this team. I can't really say specifically. I like their ballpark. I think their ballpark is beautiful. Yes, I've been to their ballpark. It actually fun story is actually when we graduated from boot camp in the Marine Corps. One of the things that they do when you complete the Crucible is you have kind of like your Marine Week, where you're kind of just doing the whole checking out process. And on one of the final days there, they actually took us to a Padres game. So it was Padres versus San Francisco Giants, which that was 2010. So that was when the Giants won the World Series title. But something about the Padres ballpark, I really liked it. San Diego's a pretty cool city. But yeah, so I tend to have a soft spot for the Padres. Now, the Padres did make some big additions. They have Tommy Pham now at center field, and also Jerkinson Profar, second baseman, kind of replacing Ian Kinsler. Now, my reason for this series, besides the fact that I do kind of have a soft spot for the San Diego Padres, is because they have Manny Machado. Manny Machado is also one of my favorite players to watch currently in baseball. He's just a fun player. He's really exciting. I like what he does. People can hate all he want, but he's a good player. And Fernando Tatis Jr., I think the kid is disgusting. That kid can play. So those are the two big reasons why I like that. But obviously, you're also throwing Tommy Pham in there, another player that I do have respect for. So I think San Diego is definitely, you can see what San Diego's trying to do, and kind of know that they have a strong foundation as far as their future players go. So they're trying to add more experience and more consistent hitting players, obviously with Tommy Pham. But I think, this is going to be a fun team to watch for sure in the near future. So I can't wait to see a little bit more from the San Diego Padres. All right, at number 2, I have the LA Dodgers. I know, right? Whoa, shouldn't this be number 1? Kind of, but I'm pretty sure some of y'all could probably figure out what number 1's going to be. But number 2 is the LA Dodgers. In 2019, they finished 106-52, obviously choking to the 2019 World Series champions, Washington Nationals. I have real no hate to the Washington Nationals, man, but yeah, just the LA Dodgers have consistently choked in the playoffs year after year, regardless of their excuse of them being cheated. I mean, they lost in LA. Astros didn't have any way to have any of their system used in LA. But you know what? To each of its own. Whatever they want to believe is whatever they want to believe, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Dodgers fans. But they do have some really key additions, and this is kind of at this point where the Dodgers are going for broke. They're going all out. They want to prove that they are going to win a World Series title finally. They're basically in the same stage as the Yankees. They're just going to have to go all out this year to just get a World Series title. And that's pretty much the reason why they're the two heavy favorites going in as the World Series champions. But they did make some key additions, and obviously getting Mookie Betts is huge for them. Will he be a rental? Will he come back? Who knows? You also got David Price. Now, David Price, I did say a lot of bad things to David Price at one point, but that was because he was just doing really not the best. It wasn't the David Price that I remember. That's just specifically as to why I was really clowning on David Price. But David Price brought it back, man. He looks completely different. I like this is the David, not necessarily the same David Price from back then, but he's damn near close to it. And I think that David Price was a solid addition for this pitching staff for the Dodgers. And also add in Blake Trinan, man. I mean, dude's solid, very reliable relief pitcher. So I mean, the Dodgers, obviously, like I said, they're going for broke. They already have a stacked team with Cody Bellinger, who I used to respect, but now I think he's just a crying, whiny little bitch. But those things like that, man. I mean, you can't blame them, man. The Dodgers are going for it. It's win or nothing this year. So I can see it. Now, my reason for wanting to watch this matchup is obviously because all this hostility that's been between the Astros and the Dodgers. Now, Dodgers have been complaining, saying that that the Astros should have been vacated the World Series title and have the World Series title given to them. Look, I will honestly say for people that make the argument about the Astros should have got their World Series title vacated, if the Astros would have gotten the 2017 World Series title vacated, which didn't happen, don't care anymore at this point. I would have never given it back. I wouldn't even given it to the Dodgers. You lost. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, but the system that everyone kept saying about the Astros cheating scandal, depending on them being at home, there's no are you telling me that the Dodgers gave the Astros access to a center field camera? So not only are you complaining that you're telling me that the Astros cheated in LA in your home stadium, but then you're also telling me that your franchise gave the team that won the World Series access to their footage. That's just listen to that logic itself. But yeah, so Dodgers fans, some weird entitlement. You guys choked twice. The closest you got was in 2017, where it did go to 7 games. But I'm still gonna say, man, no one owes you anything at this point. You guys lost in 2017, lost in 2018, and you choked in 2019. So go all out, man. Go for broke. I'm okay with that. They still have a solid team, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this is going to be the rivalry between the Astros and Dodgers, and obviously the rivalry between the Astros and Yankees. That's going to be the two big stories going into 2020 season for the MLB. But let's get going. Let's get going with number 1. So at number 1, I have the Oakland Athletics, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that you guys already know my reason as to why I got the Oakland Athletics, but I'll go a little bit even deeper as to why they're my number 1 team. So in 2019, they went 97-65. Really, it just went almost down the wire between them and the Astros for the division title. Not so much, obviously, because the Astros were ahead of them by 10 games, but still, it still was this was the biggest competition for the Astros. As of lately, man, the Rangers kind of have fallen off, and they still have some things left to do. Angels are getting there, but they're just not there yet. And Mariners are going to be going for a rebuild for a good while. So Oakland is going to be the competition for the Astros. This is the team that's going to really have a big is going to be the big barrier, I guess you could say, for the Astros, because this is going to be our best competition in the division. That can probably not say much for some of y'all, but that is actually saying a lot. This team is actually really solid. They do have some pretty good players in their team. They have some flaws, just like any other team does, but they do have a pretty solid team, and I think a really grinded out team. So I think that's where I respect the Oakland Athletics. Now, they did make some additions, not much, but they did get Tony Kemp, and obviously I have a soft spot for Tony Kemp because he did play for the Astros at one point. But the guy is just a versatile player, can play second base, can play in the outfield. The dude is honestly a solid player. It's unfortunate the Astros couldn't keep him, and it's just because the fact is that he can't we don't have a spot for him to play in. But yeah, and my real reason for this is obviously because they have Mike Fiers on their team. Mike Fiers obviously started this whole giant snowball that put the Astros in their situation. So I want to see the Astros go up against Mike Fiers and rock them. That's really all I want to see from this. I really can care less about everybody else on the. I actually have no problem with the rest of the Oakland Athletics. I just don't like the fact that they have Mike Fiers. Mike Fiers is officially enemy number one for the city of Houston. Might be a close battle between him and Bill O'Brien, but I mean, Mike Fiers for sure is probably one of the most hated people here in Houston. So that is my logic for it. But aside from that, it's still going to be a pretty good matchup. I think this is going to be the division matchup for the Astros to see who's going to win the division. So that's why it's my number one. So I think at this point, you guys should already know, whenever we do these top 5 type videos, we're always going to give you guys a bonus. So here is the bonus for you guys. It is the San Francisco Giants. You guys are probably scratching your head right now as to why the hell did I pick the San Francisco Giants? I don't know, and I mean, most of you that do know me probably know as to why. But I got the San Francisco Giants. In 2019, they went 77-85. It's not necessarily making a valid argument for why I picked this team. But the reason I picked the San Francisco Giants, and I'll mention the additions, is one, they got Wilmer Flores, who, if you guys don't remember, back in 2016, I believe 2015, he had he found out that he was getting traded and cried in the middle of a game, which is very iconic, and a lot of Mets fans love him to this day for it. But obviously, he's now with the San Francisco Giants. I wouldn't say he's like a great player, but I mean, he's a respectable player. And of course, they got back Hunter Pence. So if you guys know me, you guys know Hunter Pence is one of my favorite players. Breaks my heart every time knowing that he's probably not going to retire an Astros player. Breaks my heart that if he ever goes into the Hall of Fame, it's not going to be as an Astros player. So it hurts me. But you know what? At least I get to watch Hunter Pence play. And that's all I can live with that as well. So I'm looking forward to this matchup, just mainly because Hunter Pence. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a tough matchup. It might be it might be one-sided pretty easily. But yeah, that's my reason for picking the San Francisco Giants. So those are the top 5, well, I guess technically 6 matchups that I am expecting to enjoy for this 2020 season. Tell me, guys, what you guys think of my top 5. Well, I guess top 6 in the comments. And drop in the comments which matchup are you actually looking forward to this year. Probably is going to be the Dodgers. I'm pretty sure. I might not be surprised. It might probably be the Dodgers. But if you have one that's not the Dodgers, go ahead and drop in the comment section as well. But I mean, if you're gonna say Dodgers, drop in the comment section anyways. But yeah, that's all I really got for this video, man. Make sure you guys comment, like this video, subscribe to Saucy Sports TV so you guys can get the content of other teams in H-Town, and make sure you click on that notification bell so you will be notified when we drop videos as well as when we do our live streams. But yeah, without further ado, man, that's all I really got. So chucking up a deuce. Y'all stay saucy.